Do you like scary and weird movies?
Hi, I'm Paul.
Well, you're in luck, because today we'll be looking at the best, most obscurest horror movies. Before we fully jump in, if you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, it's good to see you again. Just a heads up now, these are my picks and my picks only, so they're gonna be obscure for obscure horror movies. And with that, I don't know if all these movies are Oscar worthy.
What's up, ninjas?
But they definitely fulfill the weird and abstract part of horror. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it. Suspiria. Suspiria from 2018, directed by Luca Guadagnino, is a reimagining of the 1977 film under the same title. And honestly, that film could also be included in this list, and I'm gonna kind of mesh them in the same realm, but I'm mainly focused on the 2018 version. Mainly because there's a certain dancing scene that just stuck with me forever. Because anyone who knows me knows there's one thing I love most. Dancing. Regardless, the story of both movies are very enticing, and weird as hell. They follow a gal who goes to a prestigious ballet school. Yet once there, she begins to unveil weird and mysterious things, all kicked off after she investigates a missing student, which brings forth witch-like activities, in a claustrophobic setting that constantly alters, seemingly out of nowhere. It's like those staircases in Harry Potter, but the whole environment. And on top of all of that, there's horrible deaths. And any sane person loves watching that. The 2018 film stars Dakota Johnson as an American student who went to West Berlin to attend Marcos Dance Academy, run by Dr. Klemperer, played perfectly by Tilda Swinton. Dakota Johnson also does a very good job at portraying Susie, as she dives into the mad world of dance, seemingly controlled by higher powers. Those higher powers having malevolent motives. Kind of like the US government making all the poor people fight each other instead of focusing on the billionaires and the class war that's happening at the moment. Anyway. The movie shines in its atmospheric horror. In the 2018 version, the visual style is just straight bleakness, which is a great juxtaposition of the 1977 version that was very colorful and abstract with its cinematography. Again, both of them work so well with the film. And Dakota Johnson, while, she has Madam Web under her belt, which was a great movie. So good. So good. So good. Sweeney Todd.
Let's face it, guys only want one thing.
Can act really well.
Sorry, it's the best I can do.
Are you out of your mind?
Tilda Swinton is known to always bring a good performance, but the supporting cast of the movie includes people like Mia Goth or Chloe Grace Moretz. The casting is stacked in the movie. And finally, the score is amazing. Horror movies can always be enhanced or pretty much ruined by the score, and Suspiria definitely benefits from it. It adds such a beautiful yet devastating charm. The music itself at face value is beautiful, but there's hints in the back burner of the inevitable doom that surrounds the ballet school. And finally, I think my favorite part about the 2018 version is Tilda Swinton. Her character is like terrifying, like Agatha in Matilda.
Fresh meat.
Type of way, but horror movie. And with like telekinesis, but that's besides the point. Funny enough, Matilda had telekinesis, so maybe they're connected. I highly recommend both Suspirias. I mainly talked about the 2018 version because, one, I know a lot of people nowadays are like, ooh, new stuff, I'm gonna eat that and forget about the old stuff. And I get it to a certain degree, but there's still amazing food over here in the old stuff. Like a turducken, which is like a turkey and a duck and a chicken combined into one. My point, both Suspirias are very good, and I highly recommend it. Besides the cinematography, as well as how the messages are displayed, the obscurity from both films come from the fact that one scene can show something and then the next scene will show something entirely different with different colors. To some that may feel confusing, especially when you try to keep up with the story. Especially with the 2018 version, because when it cuts to a different scene, sometimes it's like, alright, when is this scene taking place compared to that scene? Granted, that's kind of the point, which is why it's in this list of best obscure horror movies. And if you've seen it and agree or disagree, then let me know down below. And if you haven't seen it, then go watch it right now before I make you chug 3 gallons of Tang.
Tang! It's a kick in a glass.
Whoa!
And in a pouch.
Tang, baby! Yeah, no.
The Empty Man. This movie title is balls, like big balls. One is just kind of a boring name, but two, it reminds me a lot of the Bye Bye Man.
He's trying to get inside us. Jesus.
Don't think it! Don't say it! Don't think it!
I'm afraid of putting this into
Bye-bye, man.
So good. It's so good. Like, you'll get on your knees and question if this movie is actually God, because of how good it is. Don't think it, don't say it, or else the Bye Bye Man's gonna pull your pants down and bite. The Empty Man from 2020, directed by David Pryor and starring James LaSombra, is a Lovecraftian cult horror movie. Automatically, you got me hooked right there on the spot. But on top of that, I'm just too giddy.
Giggity giggity.
I didn't even know I could get this hard anymore.
Before I get into the synopsis, look at this clip.
Hi, Mrs. Neutron.
I love scenes like this. There's a video game, I can't remember off the top of my head, where when you take a picture of a group, they all just go like... I love things like that so much, where it's in the distance and they see you, and it's like, uh-oh. And then in this one, they just start bolting towards them.
Yeah, no.
It's so good, but I'll get into the synopsis, because I'm just giving the glaze without the meat. It follows a retired cop who begins to investigate weird disappearances that lead to him unearthing a weird cult that praises some sort of urban legend that is seemingly less legend. This movie went under the radar and it pisses me off, especially because I see some of the clips from the movie go viral on TikTok and then people are like, name, and then someone's like, The Notebook. So you're so funny, dude.
Stay with me now.
There's a difference between rage baiting and being annoying, and most people who think they're rage baiters are just annoying. Although rage bait used to be like, oh, I'm pouring milk first before cereal. Now it's just saying racist shit. And then when you get called out, they're like, oh, it's just a joke. It's like, alright, well, it's not funny. Make up a new joke. Horror movies. So this movie's definitely worth a watch. And if you notice that the synopsis was brief, that's because there's a lot of spoilers that I can't really get into. As throughout the whole movie, you, much like James, you have no clue who's behind the disappearances. You're not that great of a cop. But all throughout, for me at least, because I have mental issues, it felt like I was his partner, going through the same experience he was. Now I was kind of getting pissed off with the community. Like, yo, 5 teenagers went missing. Do you want your future generation to be found or not? Because this community is small. 5 teenagers gone in one night? That's like half the future workforce. But as James furthers his investigations, he finds out that the community itself all praises one legend, and you have to find out throughout the movie if this legend is real, or if it was just the cult community. Because it could be both, and the movie does a great job at making you second guess your decision. It may dissuade some viewers with the few answers it gives, but I think that's the highlight of the movie. It's like you're put on a roller coaster and you better enjoy the ride. The Empty Man does such a good job at blending real-world mythology and fictional horror, while taking notes from great stories like Call of Cthulhu, and to me it reminded me a bit of The Wicker Man. Like the good one, not Nicolas Cage's one. Although I absolutely love Nicolas Cage in a full bear costume just decks a woman.
Sister?
It's so good. It's so don't hit women. If you're willing to stay on the roller coaster ride known as The Empty Man from 2020, then I guarantee you you're gonna have some sort of fun in it. It can make you think while also just being one of those movies you can turn your brain off and enjoy some scenes. The Dead Center, 2018. The Dead Center is a thriller horror mindfuck of a movie, and with that, it's a masterpiece. The low-budget 2018 film, directed by Billy Sinise, is set in a psych ward, and it follows our protagonist, Dr. Forrester, as he does his best to try to help a new patient, Michael, who has a bad case of amnesia. Michael seemingly is brought back from the dead, but something came with him. Michael is also dead, so that's kind of an issue. Mainly because he died earlier and somehow he came back, and the doctor who saw his dead body earlier is now frantically looking around for him, because I'm pretty sure that's her job on the line. But as we can see, Michael's totally perfectly fine, besides the thing that probably came back with him from the dead. What makes this movie obscure, besides the low budget, and by that I mean a lot of low budget films, especially low budget horror movies, they kind of get lumped together and generalized as not great films. And that's understandable because it's like Netflix horror, where there's like 99 horrible, just boring movies that are just a waste of your time, but then there's like one really, really good one. And the thing is, you have to give low budget movies a chance, or else directors aren't going to become big time directors. I think I'm preaching to the choir. The Dead Center is genuinely a good movie. Although you can definitely tell that it's low budget, but not because of the acting. I actually think the acting is quite good. And also, I think it's actually scary in an atmospherical type of way. Like half the time I was watching it, I was like, what the hell is happening? The whole time I was still engaged, so the movie never lost me. But it felt like it was dragging me on a cord and just like watching me like flail in the wind. And the main thing that you're going to be questioning the whole time is the movie feels like it's a possession movie. But there's an underlying theme of reflecting, or at least try to illustrate, what life is like from those who suffer from mental illnesses. painted in a horrifying slow burn. And I think that's the true meat on the bone for this film. With all that being said, it can definitely be hard to follow at some points. This is definitely not one of those movies you turn on in the background. But it's a reason it's on this list for obscure horror. Not only is that the point, as it builds suspense for this unearthly atmosphere, but the whole time you're just as curious as the doctor on trying to find the truth behind the patient, Michael Clark. If you've also seen this movie, did you think it was a hidden gem? Shura, 1971. Do you like samurais? What about horror? What about old timepiece movies? Well, boy, howdy, you're in luck. I got something cruel and bleak for you. Shura is a 1971 film directed by Toshio Matsumoto. It's an experimental samurai film, and it follows the story of bloody vengeance that leads into the side of horror. The film also goes under the names Demons and Pandemonium. This movie's pretty disturbing, especially for the fact that it's black and white. However, I think that disturbingness, as well as the black and white, fits in with the story of revenge, as the movie follows a samurai who is tricked by a geisha that led to the samurai getting robbed by said geisha. But the thing about the samurai is, he's a ronin. And if you don't know what a ronin is, that's a samurai without a master. It's pretty much a samurai without honor. Thus kickstarts a bloody path of revenge, full of twists that M. Night Shyamalan would get a wet dream over. What do you do in your free time? I talk about other men's wet dreams. What makes Shura more obscure is the black and white cinematography. As I mentioned, it adds to the suspense and dreadful nature of the movie, but it also reflects how the movie pacing can feel. As one moment there's a peaceful, calm setting, the scene is nice, everyone's just talking, and then all of a sudden a samurai comes in and just starts whacking motherfuckers. Now, with it being black and white, it's not as scary to someone like me, a young buck in this world full of love and hope. So the scares usually rely on loud sound effects. But it also leans into the uncanny side of just nothing. White noise. Now, the way the movie is shot, with one scene being very calm and the next amping it to 100, it can make the movie feel confusing. And on top of that, I don't know if the subtitles were true, because it's Google, but Google never lies to us.
What the f*** is this piece of sh**?
However, if you're a horror fan, I think it's worth a 2-hour watch. But heed my warning, the first half of the movie, there's nothing really horror-wise. It builds up to the story, which, most movies do. But with that being said, a lot of horror movies, especially nowadays, they get into the scares sooner rather than later. I'm just saying this because I don't want you to come back here and be like, that movie was boring as hell. It can be boring to some, I know. I'm really selling this movie right now. The beginning act is just to build up towards the betrayal and pretty much get you rooting for the Ronin's murdering. That's pretty much the second half. Plus you get to see a lot of the styles and trends that old filmmakers had, especially in Japan. Shura is on YouTube, and for anyone who didn't know it, closed captions will automatically translate whatever language you speak that the movie is. Is this the real life? The Leprechaun movies. Now, this is debatable for the best anything.
Drink what you want. Drink what you're able. If you're drinking with me, you'll be under the table.
But it's a fucking leprechaun killing people and almost saying the N-word, which I don't think it can do.
What's up, ninjas?
Well, I know that Warwick Davis, who plays the leprechaun and is the star of every single movie and just the highlight, he definitely can't say it. The Leprechaun movies kickstarted in 1993 with a young Jennifer Aniston, literally her first movie ever.
One of those things where I tried to get that thing out of the remote out of his hand, and there was just no having.
You mean he happened upon
it? He was like, no, this is happening.
Are they good films? No. Are they dumb fun? It depends on who you ask. To me, yes. And I can't say for sure if you think you're gonna waste your time watching a little perverted, rhyme-busting, magical, shining shoe asshole. But Warwick Davis goofing around, killing people, making horrible, horrible puns.
I like Indian food. So spicy.
Again, almost saying the N-word.
What's up, ninjas?
It's just so stupid fun. And the obscureness just comes from the fact that someone saw a leprechaun and was like, that scares the shit out of me. Have to make 8 movies about him, and then like one of them doesn't even show him. The other one shows some weird, angry troll. Which I guess that's what this Leprechaun is, but it's not Warwick Davis. If you watch a Leprechaun movie without Warwick Davis, then you are just wasting your time. If you want to see a great movie, watch Leprechaun in the Hood. What, you think that's stupid that a Leprechaun's in the Hood? How about space? This movie constantly teeters on the line of just plain stupidity and fun stupidity. Although if you're looking for a more campy, fun, but story-oriented horror movie, the original Leprechaun is so obvious that it's trying harder than all the other ones. That first one has influence from Critters. In fact, the original Leprechaun movie was meant to be a childlike horror movie, although it was later written to be R-rated. That's why some of the parts in the first horror movie can feel so weird. It was originally meant to be like a Gremlins type movie. Although I say influenced by Critters because it literally was influenced by Critters. There is speculation that Child's Play altered the Leprechaun series, although the director of Leprechaun, Mark Jones, has adamantly stated that Child's Play has had no influence over Leprechaun. And in my opinion, besides like a smaller person trying to kill you, there's really no similarity. Like, yeah, they each make puns, but so does Freddy Krueger.
How's this for a wet dream?
Again, that's mainly for the first movie. After the first Leprechaun movie, they kind of went balls to the walls. One of them is really creepy and sexual because he's like, hey, I'm gonna marry you, and then this like princess lady was like, nah, I'm gonna put like some sort of hex so you can't do that, and then I'm gonna die. And he's like, all right, well, you know, that hex only lasts forever. I'm gonna marry your granddaughter. It's like, hey, Leppy boy, you're a murderer, you're a creep, but you're really a
A minor.
I draw the line at being a. You can kill anyone you want, but don't be weird. He's pervy in all of the movie. This entry is literally just to watch a dude dressed up as a leprechaun try to act scary and murder people. They let go of the scariness later on, and those movies can be seen more as fun. But even then, it definitely gets to a point. So maybe like watch, I don't know, half of a movie? If you agree or disagree with any of my picks, then let me know down below. And if there's any other obscure horror movies that you think should have made this list, then let me know down below. As I was recording this, I don't know why, but I just thought about The Lighthouse. Probably the best obscure horror movie I've seen in recent years, and I just forgot to mention it. Right now, like, I have to go to work soon, so I can't, like, type out a full synopsis of that, and you just see my laziness on full displays. So hopefully a deer runs straight into my car and kills me. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like really helps me out. And if you think any of my rambling has earned you a subscription, then make sure you hit subscribe before you leave. Next week we're going to go back to looking at some PSAs because it's been a minute since we've done that. Also, Christmas lights are going to come up next week because Christmas and Santa's going to hurt me and touch. Cut it out like during the touchy part.